The new iPad has met with crowds and protests.
And does the successful CeBit show in Germany mark a healthy IT industry? This and a lot more on the High Tech Countdown. Hi, I'm Shane Schick of IT World Canada and CIO Canada magazine.
And I'm Paul Dunley-Bletto, the editor of Computer Dealer News magazine. I also have an exclusive interview with Tech Data CEO Bob Dukowski talking about Apple and mobility later on in the show. But first, Shane, Apple's latest iPad launch was marred by another protest, this one led by Change.org. Now, Change.org is a group that promotes social change by use of online petitions, and they've actually been successful. For example, a 22-year-old nanny started a petition against the Bank of America increasing its debit card fees, and the bank dropped the fee after she got more than 300,000 signatures. Change.org is asking Apple to use ethical manufacturing practices, and it wants Apple to address poor working conditions in China, factories run by companies such as Foxconn, which makes the iPad and the iPhone. You recall, Shane, last year we had a story on this where some workers actually committed suicide. Tragic story. And Change.org is hoping that Apple can correct this. As of yet, they've not addressed the problem for whatever reason.
Yeah, I think that unfortunately it's one of those situations where Apple has become, the largest consumer company in the world. If they weren't, I don't think this would be considered as big an issue. But it's like the line in Spider-Man: with great power comes great responsibility, and I think that's where Apple needs to start.
Yeah, Jessica Morales of Change.org has mentioned that Apple does know about their petition and is willing to address their concerns, but we shall see. Apple CEO Tim Cook on March 28th did visit Foxconn. Apple has defended its policies and opened up its Chinese supplier factories for an internal audit by labor rights groups. Cook did visit China in 2010 to investigate worker conditions at Foxconn factories. Now, the Apple iPad was a huge story this week, and we talked to Bob Dukowski, the CEO of Tech Data, about Apple and its channel strategy. I want to get to Apple. They are the leaders worldwide. There's a little bit of an argument here in Canada with RIM, of course. Pie in the sky. What do you think about partnering with Apple? There's word on the street that they're eventually going to have to come to the channel. What do you have to say about that?
Well, first of all, worldwide, Apple is one of Tech Data's most important vendor partners. Most important vendor partners. I mean, people don't think of that, but now Apple ranks in the top 5 with Tech Data worldwide.
Okay.
And remember, we sell $25 billion worth of technology a year. So to be in that top 5, that says Tech Data and Apple have a very deep and strategic partnership. Having said that, we don't have access to Apple in every one of our countries. It's the way Apple manages the channel. So I would contend that Apple's a strong channel player. They're a strong advocate of relationships with distributors like Tech Data, and they pick their spots. And so we're thrilled to be a worldwide partner with Apple and continue to work with them to try to find new technologies that we can help take to the market.
What about that mobility space with the iPad 2 and the iPhone?
And again, we in many countries across the world, we have access to the iPad. And it's one of the things that have driven all of that growth with Apple. But it's not just iPads and iPhones. It's AirBooks and Macs and Mac Pros. That whole product line is available to Tech Data in the channel today.